Hello guys and welcome back to Unity Dev Tutorials, and in today's video we're going to learn about some basic things about raycasting. So let's get started. Now raycasting is basically used in multiple games like online platformers game, multiplayer games, AR, VR. So it's very important that you should have the basic understanding of raycasting. So this is what we are going to learn in this video. So let's get started. I'm going to create a script right now. Go to C# script. I'll name it as Raycast script, and let's open it. Now Visual Studio Code takes time. Now first and foremost thing we want is we want a ray. So let's create a ray here. Okay, so what we need here is private raycast hit and ray. This is the ray which we want, and then let's go to update and create a debug ray from our camera. So we say debug draw ray. We want this from camera dot main dot transform dot position, because we want this ray from camera. Then in what direction? So I say from forward, camera dot main dot transform dot forward. You can also take vector c dot forward. Then forward till like 1000 distance. And what color? I say basically it comes in yellow color, red color, sorry. So I say color dot yellow, and 0.5 select. Let's see this in the inspector. In our game scene, I haven't imported it yet. It's a raycast hit. Oh yeah, there are typos there. Raycast hit. I'm missing T over there. Yeah. Now I'll attach this script on camera. Just drag it and drop it here and hit play. Can you see the ray? Look at this, yellow. Now what we want is this should hit a game object or any object which you would like to point this ray on. So let's go back to our script and take a game object. Game object, let's say cube or game cube. Let's say cube, right? And we say what will happen if this ray hit. So if this ray hit, we say if physics dot raycast and we want this raycast from camera, so let's copy this part, this whole part, and paste it over here. And we want out hit ray. What will be the out hit ray? Out hit ray will be our M ray, so out M disco ray. Then we'll simply add debug, or okay, let's add a debug here. Log error. We say hitting or game object. Let's save it. Yeah, now let's create a game object. These errors are nothing. I don't think they are not supporting textures. Forget about it. Let's create a cube and just reset it. And let's see what happens if our raycast hits this cube. I can see a ray. Yeah, it is up. So let's take it up. And here's a log. You see our log error. So this is when we are firing a raycast from a camera. I'll also tell you what will happen or how we'll create a raycast from mouse pointer. So I just wanted to know that what happens if this does not hit the collider. So let's say else part and say debug. Let's copy this. Raycast is a very interesting topic and sometimes very difficult to understand as well. So my intention is to get you guys everything clear. So it's not hitting the collider. Save it and let's check this out. It takes time to compile. Let's clear this and let's hit play. So it's not hitting the collider, you can see this, and when I pull it up, you see it's hitting the collider, not hitting the collider, hitting the collider. So this is what we get. So up till now we've made raycasting from camera, and what if we want to make the raycast to fire from the mouse position or mouse pointer click actually. So what we can do is we'll have to create an array that will point from the mouse pointer. So I'll just comment this one later. Let's take array and name it as array, and then we say camera dot main dot screen point to ray, and what will it point to? Input dot mouse position. So we have a ray that comes from mouse position, and instead of this, because we don't want ray to come from camera, so we want it to be from ray. Okay, and we don't require this, need out ray. Okay, we have the input ray and the out ray. Then what distance, right? So we say what distance we want it. Say I want it to 1000. Let's check this out. And yeah, okay. Okay, I just deleted the bracket. Okay, we don't want this debug as well. Come on, fast. Oh, still no. Yeah. So let's hit play. So you see when I'm clicking here, I'm getting an error like not hitting the collider, and when I click here, I'm getting a message of hitting collider or game object, not hitting collider or game object. So this is how we are raycasting from mouse. Now what if you want these raycasts to point only on a certain layer and not on everything else? So in that case, you'll have to take a layer mask, and then we have to bit shift it. So let's do this. I'll take public. Oh, my caps is on. Public int, and let's say layer mask. What is happening? So much of typos. Okay, so initially it is false. Oh, sorry, what am I doing? So initially we are going to bit shift it, and we say that the 8th layer. So what this bit shift will do, this bit shift shifts the layer of index 8 to get the layer mask. Okay, so you got it. Layer shifts the bit of 8th layer in the layer mask to get the layer mask. Very confusing. Okay, and I say only hit this layer mask. That means we have to put it here. Okay, so let's put it here. Control V, and let's see. Come on. It's not that difficult to understand raycasting, right? If you understand these simple things, you'll be able to get through raycasting, and you'll be implemented wherever and in whichever way you want. So I'll just take a new, no, not sphere. I want to take a cylinder. Okay, and let's place it somewhere here. Now I want the raycast to hit only this object, but we haven't assigned layer to it because it's a non-default layer. So I've already created a layer 8. If you want, you can go and add a layer from here. You see this? Okay, so I just want the raycast to hit only this object, not this cube. So let's hit and play. Come on. Okay, so it says now currently it says that I'm not hitting any collider. Now I'm hitting a collider. You see when I press mouse button, it's hitting a collider, and not hitting a collider even if I press my mouse button. So you see that now it's only detecting the layer 8. So this is how we can implement raycasting on certain layers which you want the object to hit, and on layer which you don't want the object to hit. Now if you want to exclude this 8th layer from the raycast, what you'll have to do is you just have to negate it. What negate means is you just have to add this tile type of sign. So I'll just say, many people what they do is they just assign this layer and invert it. I say this, and now let's check. Now what I have did here is I have to exclude the layer 8 so that the raycast should not hit object with layer 8. Okay, just clear this, all clear on player. Come on. Okay, so now it's not hitting a collider even if I press on this cylinder and it is in layer 8, and when I press on this or I move my mouse pointer on the cube, I am getting an error or a log error called hitting the collider, which is not in 8th layer. So what we have basically done is we have excluded 8th layer here. Now if you want anything to be done here, you can write what happens if the if the raycast hits the object. So let's say what we can get from here, we can get the name of the game object. So let's say debug dot log error, log error, and what we can get from here, we can get the name of the object ray. I have ray and collider dot name of the collider. Okay, so let's save it and let's play. Okay, come on. Okay, not hitting the collider, not hitting the collider, and you see cube. So I'm getting the object on which the raycast is, and I'm not getting the name of the object because I have excluded this object with the help of layer. And if you want something to happen, like if you want a game object to be activated when it hits that particular object, so for that what you can do is take public game object and say object to be activated okay, and whenever the raycast hits the collider or game object, we have to activate this object, set active true. Yeah, whenever the object hits, it should be true, and if it does not, we'll have to make it false. Spelling. Okay, what's happening? Come on, it's take time to compile. Okay, hit play. Oh yeah, I haven't created an object, man. Come on, how can I forget that? This is no reference, unassigned reference. Create. This time I'll create sphere and I'll move it. Let's move it here. So according to the current script, what will happen is whenever I point my mouse pointer on an object, it will activate game object sphere. Yeah, I was missing this reference. What? What? I don't require this. Save it. You see the layer mask here? This is what defines which layer we are. So when I play, you just take a look at that. Okay, come on. Oh, once again the same error. Come on. Okay, I have a game object here. Yeah, signed. Yeah. Initially, we need to deactivate the sphere. And you see this, now the sphere is getting activated and deactivated whenever I am on the cube. The sphere is active, and I'm not on the cube, the sphere is not active. So this is all about the raycasting. And one more thing I want to tell you guys, that Unity is giving free and premium free access to the premium content and learning tutorials videos on Unity site. You get the link in the below description. Do check that out and comment down below if you like this video. Please subscribe my channel and help me grow as well. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.